Hello, welcome back to the channel and this next video from another retro guy, and it is another movie review, and it's one that I was actually looking at it a while ago thinking I should really do a review on this film. And you know what, I thought, while I'm here, while I've got the camera out, why not? No, I wasn't doing anything untoward. That's just your filthy minds. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd do a review of this movie, as I must admit, this film, it didn't get the best of reviews. They're actually quite middling to low reviews, and that's a real damn shame. As yeah, I always have a lot of fun with this, and it is Doom, starring Karl Urban, The Rock, Richard Brake, Rosamund Pike, and what's his name? I don't know, I can't find it on there. But still, it's based on the id Software game of the same name. Basically, there's a breakout of monsters and all hell breaks loose. But there's a slight change to the original game. Instead of there being portals to hell, it's actually gene manipulation. So it is a change to the original game's format. The Rock plays Sarge, the guy in charge of the team. You've got Karl Urban plays Grim Reaper, as his last name is Grim. Nice little play on words there. And yeah, basically they're tasked with going to a research station on Mars, so keeping with the game's plot so far, to basically find out what's happened as they receive a distress call from a Dr. Carmack. When they use the T.OR.G device, which sends them from Earth to Mars in a matter of seconds like that, they find that, yeah, basically all hell is starting to break down. All hell is breaking loose. Shit's going down. And it's all to do with genetic manipulation, and to do with an old dig site that took the life of Grim and his sister's parents. I think it was something like 15 or 20 years previous. So they reopen the dig, they get all this like DNA, and basically it just goes from there. Yeah, a load of people said that because this wasn't in keeping with the original game, as I say, with like alien artifacts causing portals to hell to open up and all things coming through, and basically not seeing things like the Cacodemon and the Baron of Hell and all the things like that, that it wasn't really a true Doom movie. That being said, I actually enjoy this for what it is. Yeah, it takes a hell of a lot of liberties with the source material, especially by changing over, as I say, that aspect of the plot. But it's like 80s action cheese, but dressed in a 2000s outfit. You know, sometimes there is a little bit of bad acting, which I think adds to the cheesiness. There's some one-liners, especially with the new recruit who's called the Kid. And every time they pick up when they pick up their weapons and they activate for the first time, you've got their kind of their nickname. So you've got Sarge, you've got Grim Reaper, you've got, I think there's one called Dozer, and then you've got, as I say, you've got the Kid as well, and it's actually pretty funny. He goes, "Really?" You know, it's pretty funny. But yeah, there is one sequence in this which I must admit is a fantastic sequence, and it is the first person scene where you basically see it through Grim's eyes. I'm not going to say like how that bit happens and all that. Because if you haven't seen the film, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it is really well done. I think it's probably the best part of the whole film. I mean, I love the final battle. I'm not again going to tell you who it's between, if you haven't seen the film. But yeah, that first person sequence, it's a lot of fun. Hell of a lot of fun. I mean, if you've seen Hardcore Henry, um, it's basically that, but in like, I think it's like a 5 minute sequence, about 5 minute sequence. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun, that bit. You've also got Dexter Fletcher from TV's Press Gang in the 80s, and he also hosted a series of Games Master on Channel 4 in the 90s. He was also in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. I can't remember his name in it, but I know he's a chef, and he goes, "Oi, keep your hands out of my soup." Yeah, it's him. He's in it, and there's one bit where they say about there was like years ago there was a malfunction with the Ark, and basically half of him went to Mars and his ass went somewhere else, and just the line that he comes out with is quite funny. It really is. The special effects, the creature effects are really good. It's nice that they've actually done proper like suits, instead of just going all CG like they could have done, like they could have cheated. It's nice that they went with like practical effects like that, because I think that actually adds quite a bit to the authenticity. I know there's one with I think it's called the Pinky. It's basically, it's no eyes, it's no nose, it's just a mouth full of hate and anger, with like a big bulky, a cross between a pig and a bull. But as I say, with no face, just a mouth. So if you can imagine the Chatter Cenobite from Hellraiser in the body of a bull crossed with a pig. That's probably the only way I can describe it. I'm probably not doing it justice, but that's the only way I can describe it. Yeah, that bit is computer generated. But other than that, and obviously like the outside, I think it is all like, CGI and that. But yeah, I think most of it, bar like certain things, it's all practical effects, and that I can't praise highly enough. They're so well done. Even the digital effects, I must admit, like the CGI, it is pretty well done. And this was from what, 2005, 2005, so 21 years ago, and it still holds up. It's near enough 2 hours in length, and yeah, I will say I had an absolute blast with it. Absolute blast. In fact, every time I watch this film, I have a damn good time with it. Yeah, it's not going to win any awards, but then it was not made to win awards. It was made just for people to have a 2 hour blast with. And for me, it does its job. It really, really does. As I say, it's 80s cheese in a 2000 suit. And that's all you can ask of it. It knows it's not Hamlet. It's not Othello. It's not some deep human drama all about the human psyche. It's nothing like that. It's Marines taking on alien creatures on Mars with guns and fists and anything that comes to hand. It basically does what it says on the tin, and if you love action films, I can recommend it. As I say, I know there's people out there who say, but it's not true to the Doom lore. What film based on the game is? Fucking Super Mario Brothers was more cyberpunk than anything, or steampunk, whatever it is, cyberpunk. Yeah, it might have failed then. It's got a cult following now, and I've always liked it. Yeah, it's not like the original games, But then, you know, they wrote it in a way that it really wasn't. It was Mario, but in real life. And I know some people will say, yeah, but you can still do... That's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Doom is a fantastic film. I can't praise it highly enough. But then I've always liked films that other people hated. If you've seen the film before and you hated it, I don't think I'm going to change your mind whatsoever. You know, I would probably say give it another go. Just go in as cheesy action film from the 80s. You might get more out of it. Don't think of it as a film licensed from a computer game. Just think of it as a cheesy action 80s movie. You might enjoy it more. Me, I'll defend it until the cows come home. You know, is it a favourite of mine? Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that I'll knock it on whenever I'm bored, but it's not going to be one of my go-to movies. Like, you know, there are loads of other films I could choose before that. But when I do fancy it, I'll knock it on, and I know I'm in for an absolute blast, honestly. So anyway, that's it for my review of the 2005 film Doom, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Karl Urban, Rosamund Pike, and Richard Brake, and also Dexter Fletcher. So yeah, there's nothing else for me to say really, apart from the normal stuff, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I hope you enjoyed this video, and keep an eye out for more coming soon, right here on That Other Retro Guy's Movie Zone. So until the next video, take care, look after yourselves, and I bid you a very fond farewell, adieu, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen. All in that order. Bye for now.